My name is Derry Tam, and I'm Executive Director and Founder of the Roots of Music.
And I'm Erica Spruill. I'm our COO. As our COO, it is my responsibility to make sure that our program continues to grow, that we are able to carry out not only the vision that Mr. Tab had, but push forth his legacy with the Roots of Music and through all of our programming. And being here has really been one of the joys of my life. It is great to see our kids go from having zero knowledge of reading music or even playing an instrument in many cases to being able to learn and matriculate the music within a matter of hours. And it is beautiful to see. And when we get to see that every day, not only is it a reminder of why we do this work, but it kind of emphasizes and helps us to push forth to the kids that if they're as committed as they are to this, you have to be committed to it, to push out the beauty of the work that they push out every week. They can take that same commitment and use it throughout their entire life.
I lost my grandmother when I was 12 and started being very rebellious. And when I got into this program, I learned that my band director was my disciplinarian, and I thought that would be cool for him to have a bigger program to offer to more kids. And from there, I just built off of what he had. There was 3 things that I felt wasn't in this program that should have been. That's transportation, tutoring, food for kids. I felt like those 3 things were needed in the program. For 10 years, I thought about the program until I finally pushed to start it up. My hope for the kids that's in this program is to have the same opportunities that I had. I got to travel the world, meet a bunch of people that are wonderful. Got to see a bunch of different places and made money. I wanted kids that have the same opportunities I had without having to spend so much money to learn how to play music.
Kids come to us from about 30 or so different schools. You don't have to have any musical knowledge to do so. It is a free program, and we do everything that we can to make sure that it stays free and that we provide everything that we can for our students, whether that's meals, homework assistance, their band shoes, all of their instruments, their performance attire, our uniforms, and every little ancillary piece of equipment that goes along with carrying out a program the size of ours. Our magic number is 250. We are growing closer and closer to that every day. And that's just for the Marching Crusaders. The Marching Crusaders, those are the kids that everyone knows about and sees because they're in Mardi Gras, right? So they do a lot of performances and they're aged 9 to 14. But we were recently lucky enough, blessed enough, fortunate, all of those good things to be able to expand our programming to include 3 to 8-year-olds. They are in what we call our sprouts of music, and they're our littles, so we go to them, but they are still, even at those ages, learning the early rudiments of music and music theory and how to keep a beat and things of that nature, so it's really exciting. And the opposite end of that is our studio academy. Those children are 15 to 19 years old. They're learning everything, the ins and outs of making music, managing a studio. They do internships with lots of different organizations and festivals here in New Orleans, managing soundboards and all of that good stuff. So it is awesome for us to have a program where we can have these kids from ages 3 through 19 and hopefully even back. We have some original Roots kids that are on our staff now. We probably get asked at least once or twice a week by kids, can I work here later on in life? And absolutely you can. We would love to have you. And one of Derek's most recent visions that has come to life is our instrument repair program. There are very few instrument repair programs in the city of New Orleans. Not only will we have this music education program, but we will also be creating in-house entrepreneurship opportunities for our college-age kids to be able to repair instruments at the Roots of Music instrument repair facility. So we do provide school bus transportation. 90% of our children ride the school bus. We do have some personal transport. As our kids arrive, they all check in so that we know they're in the building. They have made it here safely from school. They go to homework. And in the homework lab, we have a partnership with local colleges. They come in, they help to tutor our kids so that they can get get their lesson, as my grandfather used to say to me all the time. And if they don't have homework, then they need to just go straight to music theory, or we may have some type of enrichment activity that they can take part in on that particular day. Once they do homework, then they go to band practice. So they all assemble typically right at 5, maybe just a little bit after. And that day could be a little bit different. It might be the full band, or they could be in their individual classrooms. You want to say more about that?
The breakup of the classrooms are upper brass, lower brass, drums, and woodwind classes. But they're also broken up into levels: beginners, intermediate, and advanced. The advanced band being more of the performance band, and those are the kids that most likely are seen out in the streets performing for all the engagements. We give every kid a chance to pick the instruments they want to play, and then most of the time we pick the instrument for them that's not the instrument that we feel they can handle. We have about a 90% chance, 95%, I would say, correct instrument pick. Most of the kids that we pick the instrument for, they take it on forever and go on to be section leaders in high school and even on to college.
Our band director currently is Jaron Williams. He is affectionately known as Bear. To us and the kids, though, we call him Mr. Bear. Mr. Tab, Derek actually gave him that name when he was one of the first kids enrolled in the Roots of Music. He is really a big part of Derek's inspiration for even wanting to create the Roots of Music. So we are super excited that he is a part of this team, and it's beautiful to be able to include him in our story as a living, breathing testament to the beauty of what it is we do every day. Miss V is one of our woodwind teachers, and she's Miss Veronique Dorsey. She is a world-renowned musician, and she is also part of one of the only female brass bands here in New Orleans, and we are absolutely overjoyed to have her on our staff as well. Our kids get to learn so much from her every day and just really be inspired through her work.
I guess you would say our next endeavor would be making sure that we have a permanent home and purchasing or long lease in a building. That's one of our biggest goals. And then start getting back traveling again. We used to travel a lot overseas and to different places in the United States. We want to get back to doing that.
And I'm really excited about that. I'm looking forward to, obviously, us being in our own space and just having a real, true home, right? The roots have to actually be in somewhere, right, to stay standing. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And definitely the traveling. We have so many kids that sometimes they come to us and they'll say, Miss Erica, when are we going somewhere again? I've never been outside New Orleans. I have had several children say that. And it's, you know, it's beautiful, but it's also heartbreaking at the same time, because we want to make sure that we continue to expose our kids to the best things that are possible for them. And we never want them to feel like there is a limit. So we want to make sure that Roots is always growing so that they feel like they've been a part of something and that they too can always be growing.